All right, my friends, we are here for a little history lesson to feast our eyes on items that are about 160 years old. This is the 2019 Historic Autographs Civil War Divided Case Break. It's a personal break, it's for Vince. We have seen some choice items come out of here, and I have a distinct feeling we are going to have that happen again. For your viewing pleasure, it is an absolutely sealed case. No doubt about it. It's worth it, Justin. This is case number 55 of the 200 cases that were made. This was the number when Vince heard it said, I'm going with my gut. All right. Vince, do you have a preference? A, B, C, or D? Down the line. All right. I'll leave the corner of these so you can see them, because I actually had somebody complain that items left the field of view, so apparently they don't know my integrity. So I was reminded to keep things in frame, as ridiculous as it sounds. We're going to do just that. And this is a new autograph. We have not seen this one before, that I'm aware of. Wow. I have to. There we go. I'm gonna have to get the second camera for this because it's just not where I want it to be in the plastic, and I don't want to touch it. Hold on. God, that's not the one I wanted. There we go. No big deal, just from the House of Representatives. Washington, D.C., April 30th, 1874. Sorry, my hands are shaky. But this is on the House of Representatives letterhead. Even has the stamp. Dear Jim, I read your letter of February 28th with pleasant gratitudes. And now think confidently that Congress will give us all the legislation we ask. But whether it does or not, we are sworn to carry the enterprise thought. Failure could be I can't read that word. Could be something dishonor. You are right. It can be made the greatest success of the day. Hastily yours, J.R. Howley. To Buffalo, New York. Are you reading this? Certified to Johnson, Daily Express. Buffalo, New York. Ain't that serendipitous? But it is Joseph Hawley. This is, Vince, this is lovely, dude. This is beautiful. What a beautiful note that he is writing. I wonder who Jim is. What a amazing letter. What an amazing... Think of the content of this letter. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I would not give up this letter if I were you. And if I get, listen to this. If I get something awesome not named Abraham Lincoln in my box, I would be possibly willing to trade you multiple items for this. Trade, not sell. Trade. Because I think that's beautiful. Personally, I don't know how anyone else feels. I think that is a beautiful moment in writing. And it has Buffalo on it. It is Gettysburg dirt. Stone Mountain Memorial Stamp. It's a 6-cent stamp. Out of 150. 1963 Emancipation Proclamation stamp. That's a dope stamp right there. 5 cents. That's pretty cool looking. I like it. The Union Admiral stamp. It's a 3-center. That's out of 150. You have the Battle of Chancellorsville, numbered 7 out of 7. Our dude, Abraham Lincoln, another great example of a 63 penny. Somebody must have found a roll of these pennies because these are in great shape. And it's only the 63s. Somebody had to have found a roll of 63 pennies. Those are nice. Out of 65, the New York City draft riots, Battle of Spotsylvania Courthouse, and Ford's Theater, where our American cousin was playing and John Wilkes Booth shot some famous guy in the head. It is a double hitter, buddy. There are 2 autos there. But I must show you the facsimile. It is also known as Abner Doubleday. It is William Landrum. I believe you have one of these, Mr. Kentucky. Brevet General, Union. I'm fairly certain you got one of these joints. But I know you don't have one of these. I have to do Google. I'm going to tell you I have no idea who this is. But from what I'm seeing, I'm supposed to. Give me a moment. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just want to present this properly, as it deserves. Wow, this guy's a stud. All right, this guy's a stud. We're going to show you, and then we're going to do the research portion of this. It's John Sedgwick, also known as Uncle John. It is a cut auto. I've pulled it up for us. John Sedgwick, 1813 to 1864. So you can imagine when he died. was wounded 3 times at the Battle of Antietam while leading his division in an unsuccessful assault against Confederate forces, causing him to miss the Battle of Fredericksburg. Under his command, the 6th Corps, played an important role in Chancellorsville's campaign by engaging Confederate troops in the Second Battle of Fredericksburg and the Battle of Salem Church. His corps was the last to arrive at Gettysburg and didn't see too much action, but Sedgwick was killed by a sharpshooter at the Battle of Spotsylvania Courthouse, making him and Major Generals James B. McPherson, Joseph K. Mansfield, and John F. Reyes the highest-ranking Union officers killed in the war. He is remembered for his ironic last words, "They couldn't hit an elephant at this distance." What's up, Armando? Daniel, how you doing? T-Bone, what's up, Anthony? This is Civil War Divided. It is a ultra premium product that we have that is for personal breaks only. We're breaking a case. If you want a history lesson, and if you want to see some very cool 160-year-old stuff. So yes, that's crazy. His last words were, "They couldn't hit an elephant at this distance." And sure as sugar, a sharpshooter killed him. That's nuts. This letter is a gem, dude. I'm telling you, I would probably be willing to trade a high-ranking autograph for this. We'll need to get in touch with each other. But that is a great start. Great first box. Great first box. It is ironic. Yeah, I couldn't hit it up. Boom. Oh, okay. That is crazy. Somebody measured their wind resistance properly. All right, we have seen one of these before. It's Orland Smith. Somebody filled in their name on the top, so you'll probably get to see who owned it originally. But somebody definitely filled it in. Stock certificate A3378. Signed by Brevet Brigadier General Orland Smith of Gettysburg fame. So, the good news is, there's a little pad here covering the auto, but it's not like any auto we've seen. So, I'm going to be surprised when I have to lift it up. But I believe this is going to be a new and interesting auto. Antietam. Dirt. The Gettysburg Address, that's a 3-cent stamp, numbered out of 150. Abraham Lincoln Stamp Series, that's a 4-cent stamp. It's a cool looking stamp, by the way. That's also numbered out of 150. Major General Doubleday, 6 out of 7. And a 1963 Abraham Lincoln, 63 penny. Again, chock full of detail. You can see I'm not even looking at it. I have to look at my screen. There it is. John Wilkes Booth. Bragg out of 65. All right, I'm going to lift this so that I can't see who it is. And I've succeeded in not being able to see it, so that's awesome. Out of 39, it is Ulysses S. Grant, fake auto. All right, now I got to see it because I'm going to present it to you. Brevet Brigadier General of the Union Army, Henry Boynton. Sincerely yours. Oh, and believe me, sincerely yours, H.V. Boynton. Well, you know what's next. H.V. Boynton. Yep, this is it. All right. Oh, all right. So let me cut here. Yeah, it could be. It could be, Mondo. All right, history time. Henry Van Ness Boynton was a Union Army officer during the American Civil War and a recipient of the America's highest military decoration, the Medal of Honor, for his actions at the Battle of Missionary Ridge. Returning to duty in '98 during the Spanish-American War, he was promoted to Brigadier General. So, Medal of Honor citation. Led his regiment in the face of severe fire of the enemy and was severely wounded. There is his Medal of Honor. Not much is written about actually what happened, but he is one of the few Medal of Honor recipients in history. Just says he was elected the regiment's first major, but quickly rose ranks and became the commanding officer of the regiment, promoted to lieutenant colonel. He led the 35th in the Battle of Chickamauga and Missionary Ridge, where he earned the Medal of Honor for his actions on November 25th, 1863. So, while there's not much written about him, he is one of the famed Medal of Honor recipients. And that is never a bad thing, especially if you are an American military history buff, or like me, a former member of the military. So he is a hero, and he has the medal to prove it. Cool. So far, 2 boxes, 2 unique hits. I want that trend to continue. I want that trend to continue with this box right here. And it does continue right here in numerous ways. This one is authenticated by Beckett. Oh, The Office. Let me see if I can get this in all the way. From the Office of the Army Clothing and Equipment, Philadelphia, November 21st, 1856. Oh, Mondo, I had a good time when I was in the Navy, man. This is Edwin Babbitt. Edwin Babbitt. Interesting. Come on, buddy. Oh, whoa. Okay, hold on. This dude was a boss. We gotta make sure I get the right one here. Gonna have to guess it is... interesting. All right, man, hold on. I have to pause a moment while I figure out which one this is. Because there's 2 very famous Edwin Babbitts. One of them is the father of chromotherapy. And the other one, they were both in the military, so that doesn't help. I'd have to guess if this was written in 56, it would have to be Edwin D. Babbitt. The Principles of Light and Color. Color therapy, yeah. I think this is the guy. By the way, he died in Rochester, New York. I'm just going to point that out. So this guy's got to have a wiki. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. I'm reading. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, it's boring. Well, here, I'll show you. So, I believe this is the gentleman. Color chakras and other stuff. Not going to dig too far into this one, but he was a scientist as well as a Civil War. I do indeed have it. I love it. Kook science. That's great. Noted for his books on penmanship. Babylonian penmanship. The Principles of Light and Color. He wrote the book, The Principles of Light and Color. So this is going to be a good one for you to kind of go into a rabbit hole on. This is an interesting character so far. But yeah, he had books on penmanship. That's why. Look at this dude's handwriting. This dude had basically calligraphy for his handwriting. Yeah. Yep, I will thank you to pack up and hand over to me for his transportation and delivery to Lieutenant James W. Smosh? Stiosh? Yeah. At the Carlisle Barracks of the recruits and that depot, the following articles of the Dragow clothing and equipage. Hmm. 28 jackets, 70 pins, 310 shirts, 314 drawers. Interesting. 452 pairs of stockings. 15 camp kettles. This is basically the full inventory of one of the camps or an order form from one of those. Yeah, it's only 164 years old. Degenerate's like, oh no, man, I can't do it. This is really cool. It's basically the order form in his amazing penmanship on some really thick. There's actually, I can't tell if this is an envelope or if it is a paper that's folded in half. You'll have to unfold it and take a look. But I think it looks like there's more to this paper. I'll let you decide. But that is cool. All right, Vince, how about this? Oh, man. Major Poor, please send something directly. George Boutwell, the first IRS commissioner of the United States. This is the first IRS commissioner's autograph. Right there. That's really cool. I agree. He was the 28th United States Secretary of Treasury, member of the House of Representatives. I'll just show you. Member of the House of Representatives for Massachusetts 7th District. He was the commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, the first ever. The governor of Massachusetts. And yes, that definitely is his signature, according to Wiki. As a senator, he sponsored the Civil Rights Act of 1875. So this dude is pretty important in multiple areas. I mean, look at the size of his wiki. It's just packed with info. He is a major benefactor of the persecution of the KKK. He encouraged President Grant to sign the bill pointing out the many violent atrocities in the South. So he had a hand in, he was major civil, this is a major civil rights activist right here. So that's doubly cool. This dude is a major player in the civil rights movement. That's awesome. That's really awesome. That's awesome for more than one reason. Cool in the gang. That dude, I like it. Boutwell, nice. Very nice. Very nice. Mad respect for that cat. We got some Gettysburg. I feel like when this is over, you could take all of your dirt, open up it, put it into a pile, and you could, like, own a good portion of Gettysburg. Be like, this is my flag. I own this. It's mine. 3-cent stamp. Army of the Republic. Out of 150. Confederate Generals. It's a 4-cent stamp. It's also out of 150. The Lincoln-Douglas debate, it's a 4-cent stamp from 1958. It's numbered out of 150. General Braxton Bragg, out of 7. Mary Todd Lincoln, how beautiful this woman was. This is new, we haven't seen these before. 1862. It's a 2-cent piece. Whew. Thank God she was rich. All right. 2-cent piece, 64. Mary Todd. Lincoln Douglas out of 65. Ford's Theater out of 65. Jefferson Davis captured 65. Pickett. Yep, George Pickett. A 2-cent piece, right? Not a 10 piece. It's a 2-cent piece. So you could literally just give somebody your 2 cents. There you go. There's my 2 cents. What is this thing? George Ruggles, Brevet Brigadier General of the Union. February 18th, 1895. Wow. This is almost exactly 125 years old. Almost exactly 125 years old. Wrap your heads around that one, people. George Ruggles. Gotta look him up. Not a ton about him. Let's find out. Wow, he did a lot, though. He was born in New York. Of course, we're all awesome. He was the Chief Justice of the New York Court of Appeals, graduated the Military Academy, 2nd Infantry. He was a colonel and the Chief of Staff of the Army of Virginia. Saw battle at Cedar Mountain, Second Bull Run, Battle of Chantilly. Assistant Chief of Staff to the Army of the Potomac. Battles of South Mountain and Antietam. He was then assigned to staff duty in D.C., given the title of Adjutant General of the Army of the Potomac under George Meade. He took part in the Battle of Hatcher's Run. He retired in 79 and was promoted to brigadier. He's buried at Arlington. Yeah, he was 71 years old when he finally went. Cool. I'll show you a picture of the guy. That's what he looked like. Dope stash. So, Vince, man, you've got a lot of original autos here. Things that we haven't seen yet. This box was full of three autos we didn't see before. You, sir, have a Civil War collection. It is a full-blown collection now. Oh, this one's nice. What's in here? Don't show me anything I don't want to know. All right, it's another letter of Mr. Noble, our good friend known for his letter home. This is a full letter. There's multiple pages in here. It is dated July 21st, 1863. Again, charge people $5 to look at his stuff. This one also, you can tell originally was hand bound with thread, but the thread is long gone. Just the holes remain. It's a little faded on the cover. Honestly, this looks like pencil. Did pencils exist back then? That's a stupid question. I know. It's a dumb question, but I have to ask. When was the pencil invented? Because this looks like a pencil. I mean, it's on lined paper. It's on blue lined paper. And there's a stamp in the upper corner. Platner and Porter, Congress. Interesting. The pencil was invented in 1564. I just learned something new today. Bro, this is a pencil. This has got to be a pencil. It's pencil. I'm calling it. It's pencil. So there you go. It's pretty readable if you know his writing. This is like a 3-4 page letter, so I'm not going to mess with it. But it is my darling wife, Oh, it's sad. He addresses it, my darling wife, Lonesome. Here, we're going to zoom in on this. Because, we're now emotionally invested in these people's lives. My darling wife, Lonesome. How sweet. So that's cool. That's one for you to take out, thumb through while you're dropping a deuce. Fort Sumter. I know. 3 cent stamp. It's the United Confederate Veterans stamp series out of 150. The Union Generals, that one is out of 150 as well. Out of 7, it's the Appomattox Courthouse. Ha! If you thought the 2-cent piece was a little weird, how about Clara Barton and her 1865 3-cent piece? Look how cool that is. That is a 3-cent piece. Yep, it existed. Do you know how I know it existed? Because you own one. So you've gotten a penny, a 2-cent piece, and a 3-cent piece. When it comes to the coin action, I don't think you can ask for anything more. I think you've got it. And by the way, it looks like silver. Out of 65, Lincoln is shot. Out of 65, Lincoln before the bullet went through his skull. Good photo. All right, I successfully did not get to look at the other auto, so I'm excited. Joe Hooker. Joe Hooker. All right, Vince, I got you a hooker. Major General John James Peck. Well, Major General is a big deal, so we can just start there. Fought the Mexican-American War and the American Civil War. Born in New York. Woot, woot. Died in Syracuse. Woot, woot. All right, 2-star Major General of the Army of North Carolina. I'm just reading. Bear with me. I'm going to get to the highlights. He became president of New York State Life Insurance Company. Got a nice gravestone. Served in the Siege of Yorktown, distinguished himself in the battles of Williamsburg and Fair Oaks, placed in command of the 2nd Division during the 7-day battles, where he again distinguished himself, and he was promoted to Major General for his services at the Battle of Malvern Hill. When McClellan's forces began evacuating the peninsula, Peck was left in command of a Union garrison stationed in Yorktown. In September, he was given command of all Union troops in Virginia south of the James River. In 63, during the Tidewater Campaign, the attention of both armies in southern Virginia turned to the city of Suffolk, because it guarded the western land approaching by the naval yards of Portsmouth and Norfolk. Norfolk, by the way, huge Navy base. Peck took command of a force and maintained blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. So, he received a captured message informing him that Confederate intentions against Suffolk with enough time to take the appropriate measures. The besiegers gained some initial advantage during the siege of Suffolk and the Battle of Norfleet House, cutting up the Union route supply, yet Peck mounted a counteroffensive and retook the lost positions in the Battle of Hill's Point. The Confederates lifted their siege, and Longstreet's corps returned to Northern Virginia for the upcoming Gettysburg campaign. He received praise from his superior, General John Dix, for his competent defense of Suffolk. In the summer following the siege of Suffolk, he was transferred to the command in North Carolina, where he was involved in little action. Due to his health, he went on sick leave, and that was it. He returned to command in the Canadian frontier for the remainder of the war. So there you go. The dude basically saved Suffolk, which would have decimated the supply line to the north from the port. So if this dude didn't march in there and kick some booty, they could have choked out some of the supplies to the north. Very cool. That's how I interpret it. So there you go. Major General John J. Peck. Well, Vince, listen, that was awesome. I'm not mad that Abraham Lincoln wasn't there. Because if you had to trade Abraham Lincoln for 6 unique autographs, I'd have to kind of want 6 unique autographs. Unless you were going to sell the Abraham Lincoln and then buy 6 unique autographs. I can't be mad at that, man. You have a plethora of unique autos. And just as I thought it took 43 minutes, I figured it would take a hot minute to do that.